Technology is my superpower. Growing up in a rural farming community in the Midwest of the United States, it seems pretty unlikely that I'd have the life that I have today. My successful career in technology was a combination of hard work, a good education, a supportive community, and a bit of luck. I love the work that I do. It provides a great income. It allows me to travel the world. It feels meaningful and impactful, and I genuinely believe that it's making the world a better place. In fact, choosing a career in technology was probably the smartest thing I've done in my adult life. Well, besides marrying my wife, Serena, anyways. Unfortunately, we don't all have equal access to the same opportunities. So I won't lie and say that, with a bit of hard work, we can all have successful careers in technology. The reality is that opportunities are very unevenly distributed in our world. However, what I can do is give you advice that might help you to better utilize the opportunities that you do have in order to help you create your own success. And advice is based on decades of my own experience and the experience of the hundreds of people that I've helped by mentoring and advising over the years. When you're considering a career in technology, you need to ask yourself three questions. What do you enjoy doing? What are you good at? And what skills does the market value? Now, if you only remember one thing from this presentation, this should be it. You need to be continuously asking yourself these three questions at each phase of your career. Finding a job that you enjoy doing involves trying a bunch of technologies and roles to see what you like and what you don't like. The more exposure you get to a wide variety of IT roles, skills, and technologies, the easier it will be for you to identify a career worth pursuing. It is no fun doing a job that you hate every day. Finding a career that you're good at involves testing various skills to see where you excel. Ideally, you want a role that you're good at, but also one that you want to become great at. Being good means you'll be valuable to potential employers. Wanting to become great will motivate you to continuously improve every day. Now, finding a career that pays well is based on labor economics. Jobs that are highly valued in our labor economy either make companies a lot of money or they save companies a lot of money. In addition, there are also jobs that are in high demand with a limited supply of people who possess the required skills. So when you're choosing jobs, choose a job that makes companies a lot of money, saves companies a lot of money, and is in high demand with limited supply. For each role in the IT industry, there's a minimum barrier to entry, a set of requirements necessary to qualify for the role. Some roles require a high school diploma, others require online courses, some require a 4-year degree, still others may require a master's or a PhD. In addition, for each role in the IT industry, there's an ideal learning path and lots of suboptimal learning paths. So some roles are best taught by in-person courses at a university, others are more easily learned through online courses, some through multi-year apprenticeships, and still others might be easier to learn through like hands-on in-person workshops. What's important is that you get the right education based on the role that you want to pursue. If you don't know the minimum requirements and the optimal learning path, then it's really easy to spend more time, money, or effort than is necessary. Essentially, you want to maximize the return on your investment in your education. As the old saying goes, practice makes perfect, and this saying is highly applicable in the IT industry. You need to practice your skills in order to become proficient with them. And we're not just talking about a little practice after watching a YouTube video here or there. We're talking about many hours of dedicated practice. It's one thing to know something, and it's a very different thing to be able to do something professionally. Take neural networks, for example. It's relatively easy to learn what a neural network is conceptually. However, it's much more difficult to be able to train a neural network to detect credit card fraud. As a result, you need to spend most of your studying time practicing your skills in order to become proficient with them. Employers really don't care what you know. They care what you can do. And more importantly, they care what you can do for them. So be sure that you have plenty of hands-on experience with practice projects before you enter the job market. When you're practicing your IT skills, it's best to create an online portfolio to showcase those skills. A project portfolio acts as a repository for the skills that you've learned during your education. And this can be a WordPress website, a GitHub repository, or even a simple static HTML web page with links to your projects. An online portfolio serves a few key functions. First, it shows potential employers the skills that you've learned. Second, it teaches others who might also be learning the same skills you are. Third, it makes you and your personal brand more visible on the internet. Essentially, it's helping your SEO. And it also helps motivate you to create and finish these interesting side projects. If they're in public, you'll have more feedback and you'll want to finish them yourself. For example, when I was in college, I created a very simple website, just a static HTML website to showcase all of my final class projects. And I continued to expand on this online portfolio over many years, continuously refining it each and every year. And eventually, this basic website eventually became the website that I have today with thousands of visitors every month. Now, when you're ready to enter the job market, one of the best resources that you can have is a solid professional network. In fact, most of the biggest successes in my career were the result of conversations with people in my network. I discovered new jobs, great opportunities, and lifelong friendships along the way. Start by searching for local conferences, user groups, or other meetups focused on your specific IT role or technologies. For example, if you're interested in a role as a data scientist, then try finding a conference on data science or user groups on Python, R, or SQL, the programming languages that data scientists use most often. Make friends with the attendees of the conferences and user groups and start asking them questions. Learn who's hiring, what skills they require, what technologies they use, how much they pay, etc. You'll find that most attendees of user groups, conferences, and meetups, we're all very friendly and willing to share information. Your resume is your first impression for potential employers, so you want to have a great resume to let them know that you'll be a valuable employee for their company. However, a great resume is not about how awesome you are. Rather, it's about communicating to a potential employer the value that you can provide them. So, write for your audience, know your audience, write specifically for them, and focus on the outcomes that they're going to find valuable. Keep your resume short and simple, only one page maximum when you're first starting out your career. Be very concise. The fewer words you can use, the better. Don't pad your resume with fluff, and never lie on your resume. Also, it's very important that there are no typos or grammatical errors on your resume. Many IT companies will exclude you as a candidate for even a single mistake. Employers have to quickly eliminate dozens, if not hundreds, of low-quality applicants. So if you're the type of person with an error on your resume, you're probably also the type of person that will have errors in their code. Now, even with the right skills, the right education, and a great resume, many job candidates get stuck when it comes to the interview process. And this is especially true in the IT industry, where many of us highly technical people might be a bit more introverted or socially awkward than the regular non-technical people. So practice by interviewing, and find friends that will help you practice interviewing through mock interviews. Search online for lists of the top interview questions for a specific role. Then have your mock interviewer ask you these questions just like a real interview, either in person or over the phone call, video call. Ask them to provide you with honest feedback on what you did well and what you can improve on. The more you practice, the less nervous you'll be when it's time for the real interview. In addition, if you've rehearsed similar interview questions, you'll be ready for the real questions during the actual interview. Getting your first job involves researching job postings. You want to determine which companies are hiring, what roles they have available, the minimum requirements, and the pay range for each role you're interested in pursuing. Then, start applying for the jobs that are the best matches for you. If you make it through the resume screening and interview process, you will eventually have a salary negotiation. It's very important that you understand the leverage that you have and how to negotiate to get the best salary and benefits. Your leverage is based on what you have to offer the employer and what the employer needs. It's the balance between those. So the more value you can provide an employer, the more leverage you'll have to negotiate a higher salary and benefits. However, if you don't make it through your first round of interviews, don't get discouraged. Every no is one step closer to a yes, as long as you're learning from your mistakes. What's most important is that you find the right employer for you and that you are the right employee for them. Getting your first job isn't the end goal. Rather, it's just the beginning of your career journey. Your new goal for the rest of your career is to become an expert in what you do. Your value, and thus your leverage, will increase proportional to your expertise in your field. So I recommend that you choose jobs that allow you to learn as much as possible versus jobs that simply just pay more money. Now, both startups and large organizations can be a great place for this. Startups throw you in the trenches on day one, and they're going to give you a lot of exposure to multiple job roles and new technologies. However, larger companies, they typically have more experts and tools and money and resources that you can use to learn from. So it's all a trade-off in your choice between startups or large companies. And if you feel like you're the smartest person in the room, or you're not learning something new every day, that might be your cue to leave. Look for new companies with people who know more than you and have new technologies for you to work on so that you'll be continuously improving your skills every day. Once you're an expert in your field, it's important that you help the next generation become successful. Become a leader in your own tech community and the industry as a whole. You want to pay your success forward to future generations of technologists who also want these successful careers in technology. And there's many ways that you can help others. You can teach at conferences, user groups, or at schools. You can become a mentor or an advisor. You can create free online courses, videos, articles, or open source software projects. Or you can start your own conferences, user groups, and meetups. Being a tech community leader isn't just valuable for the next generation of technologists. Many of us also find it very personally rewarding. And helping others also expands your professional network, increases your name recognition, and makes others much more willing to help you in return. In summary, my advice for having a successful career in technology is to choose the right career, get the right education, practice your skills, create an online portfolio, build your professional network, create a great resume, practice interviewing, get your first job, become an expert in your field, and then become a leader in your own tech community. Technology is our superpower. Together, we can use this new superpower to create better lives for ourselves, our families, our communities, and our world. Thank you.